Hey everybody, it's Tony with Big T Bariatric, and I'm back with another video. Today is Wednesday, January 11th. I hope you're having a great day so far. This video is a little later than normal because I went to my bariatric surgeon and had my weigh-in today, my 3-month weigh-in, and it's going really good. I've lost 43 pounds since my surgery. And I actually asked them, I said, is that a little slow? You know, you would think you would lose a lot more weight after weight loss surgery. And she goes, no, we expect people to lose between 1 and 2 pounds per week on average. So I'm actually ahead of schedule in terms of where I should be with my weight loss. But on the 18th is my official 3-month anniversary since my weight loss, and I will do another weigh-in video there, keeping up with the tradition that I've been doing where I step on my scale and show you guys how that's going. So I'm pretty excited. I've actually lost a pretty good amount of weight this month compared to the last 2 months where I had some major stalls. So I'm excited to show you guys that. Today I'm going to react to another My 600 Pound Life video. This time is another example of when Dr. Now really gets onto someone who has been struggling in their weight loss and weighing so much. So it's 30-year-old woman will soon be bedridden if she cannot lose weight. So we're going to see how it goes right now.
I finally made it to Dr. Now's to try and get his help, and I'm about to find out what I weigh.
Before she does the weigh-in, I just want to say I love these parts of the My 600 Pound Life show when people do the weigh-ins, especially their first weigh-in, because they often don't know how much they weigh when they go in to see Dr. Now for the first time, because there's not too many scales that go above 600 700 pounds. There is one scale out there, but it was pretty expensive. I think it cost me like $100 to buy. So that's what I've been using since I was at my heaviest. But yeah, most traditional scales you'd buy at the store barely go above 400. So a lot of these people, especially when they go to Dr. Now for the first time, they have no clue how much they weigh. So I guess this is her very first visit.
I just hope I'm still in the 600s.
Whew. 742, that's almost 750 pounds. That's a lot. And again, what I was saying before is you often do not know how much you weigh because you've been going on for so long at such a big weight that you just really hope and you think, oh, I'm probably still in the 600s, but in reality, you've been doing a lot worse than you think you've been doing. So it's actually good to get part of a program that has a scale that you can weigh yourself so you know where you're at. And there's a lot of people who are bariatric patients who are actually really scared to step on the scale because they don't really want to know how much that they weigh.
This is the heaviest I've ever weighed.
Yeah, I totally understand how she's feeling right here. She's just totally breaking down because she thought she was a lot less than that. And the bigger you get, like, it's like you really realize just how much work, extra work you have to do. Where I'm at right now is where I was before COVID when I gained the bulk of my weight. So it's kind of weird when I stepped on that scale at my absolute heaviest. I'm like, oh man, if I was at my pre-COVID weight, I'd be in the 300s right now, but instead I'm starting at 671 and I have all this extra weight to lose. So it's taken me a year just to get back to my pre-COVID weight. So now I can, start talking about, all right, now I'm going to get down into the 400s soon, then the 300s. And so that's pretty exciting. But yeah, she is torn up about the fact that she has gained so much weight and she was much bigger than she realized.
That's a lot of weight, crushing all my organs and bones.
It's great she also has a family that's supportive of her. I think that's her husband and her mom, and they really feel for her, and so do I. I don't know the outcome of this particular person, so I hope they were able to get the surgery and get the weight off. But yeah, 750 pounds is heavy.
I could die. And I pray that I'm not too big for Dr. Now to help. It's really scary.
That's another fear a lot of bariatric patients have is they often think they're too big for a surgeon to help them. I don't think that's possible because I've seen some patients who are over 1,000 pounds get help. It's just a matter of when the doctor feels safe of being able to do the surgery. And I asked why a lot of people who are so heavy go down to Houston and move down there to speak with Dr. Now and get in his program. Well, he's one of the doctors who, as somebody explained to me, actually do weight loss surgery at a higher weight. My doctor required me to get below the 600-pound mark. Dr. Now would probably do surgery 650, 700, but you still have to show him that you're able to lose weight on your own, because it can be very dangerous and even deadly if you do not get rid of your food addiction before you have weight loss surgery.
I was hoping it would be less.
Just, it's bad.
Come in.
Hello.
Hello.
How y'all doing?
Hanging in.
It's always scary when Dr. Now walks into the room because you don't know what you're going to expect. Sometimes he's in a good mood, sometimes he's not, and he's not going to play with you. So that's probably part of her fear right here. She knows she is heavy, and she's even more scared that Dr. Now is not going to be able to help her. But just to see his reaction to her being 750 pounds is scary.
In there.
All right, I'm Dr. Nazardo.
I'm Bree.
How you doing?
Pretty good. Nice to meet
I'm
you.
Bridget.
And you are
The mom.
Mom.
And I'm Bree's husband, Rick.
Okay, nice to meet
Nice
you
to meet
guys.
you.
All right.
Yeah, it's good to meet the family, and I'm going to bet that he is the one enabling her. Because you don't get to be 750 pounds without an enabler in the house. So whether it's the mom or the husband, but sometimes it's the husband, and the fact that he's so skinny and she's not just tells me a lot right off the bat. I'm not going to try to prejudge them before I know what's going on here, but I'm going to bet anything that he's the one who is enabling her, and he might even be a feeder. But we'll see what happens.
All right. So, Brianne, you made it all the way down from Oregon. How you feeling?
Okay.
That's good. And today you weigh in at 742 pounds, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a long drive from Oregon to Texas. I did it when I left Oregon. I lived there for about a year with my aunt, and so I drove all the way back to Houston. Well, I actually didn't make it to Houston. I got to the Denver area actually, and my truck broke down, and it was sort of a scary situation because I had very limited money at the time, so I ended up having to get my truck in a repair place, and I had to get it towed there, and I ended up having to stay in the hotel overnight. So that really took a lot of the funds that I had, and so he fixed it up, and when I got back on the road to finish my trip down to Houston, because that's where my mom lived at the time, the truck actually broke down again, and it's the same exact problem. There was some sort of cap that was glued on that held in a bunch of something, oil, some kind of fluid, or something like that. So it popped off the first time, and so when he fixed it, I got about maybe 10 miles down the road, and it popped off again after he fixed it. And so he had to come back and tow me back, and at that point, I had to exchange my truck and all my stuff in my truck. I had a nice big screen TV and stuff in there. And I said, all right, I'll give you all this stuff if you just give me a bus ticket back down to Houston. So I had to give up everything that I owned. That's like the third time in my life I lost everything that I owned. So it was scary. It was sad. It was frustrating. But when you're in that situation, you have nowhere else to go and nothing else to do. You have to give up what you have to keep going.
All right, and you're 30 years old?
Mm-hmm.
Is this the highest weight you have been? Mm-hmm. This is it?
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think got you to this weight?
My eating.
Yeah, when you sort of realize you're at your heaviest, it's sort of the lowest point in your life. So she definitely was crying because she's like, this is rock bottom for me. And again, hopefully she takes this seriously and takes what Dr. Now's about to say seriously. I'm sure he's going to dive into her history just a little bit.
Fast food.
Fast food?
Mm-hmm.
So what do you eat for breakfast?
Sometimes we have like frozen burritos and stuff like that, or we might buy like the breakfast food that's easy. And then after that, I'm settled for a little bit, and then I'll snack throughout the day.
Would you
Snacking throughout the day isn't going to help you be 750 pounds. You must be eating 15, 20,000 calories per day. So what kind of snacking are you doing? A couple of breakfast burritos, even though they're frozen in the morning, that's 300 calories or so. So what are you snagging on throughout the day to get to be 750 pounds?
snack on?
It's mostly like chips and just crap.
Chips and crap?
Chips and crap. Chips and dip isn't going to get you to be 750 pounds unless you're eating 5 bags of chips and 2 containers of dip, man. She's probably holding back some information here. She must be really going crazy to be 30 years old and 750 pounds. I don't even think I was at that weight at my highest at 30 years old. I don't know. Maybe I was pretty close. I was probably in the 600s at that point because my dad died when I was 24, so I gained that weight soon after that. So maybe.
Okay, what else?
Probably more fast food.
And who gets that for you?
He'll go out and get it.
What fast food does he get for you?
Burgers, or sometimes he'll pick up food from a restaurant, pizza.
Okay.
I knew it. He's the enabler. Yep, he's the one who's helping her stay fat. Yep.
Okay, then do you keep eating after that?
I'll probably snack again later on, and then I wake up and do it all over again.
All right, so to summarize in your own words, you eat crap all day, then you go back to bed.
Eat crap all day. There's something funny about Dr. Now saying crap, but yeah, that's going to be her whole lifestyle. She lives to eat, and from the moment she wakes up, she's snacking, eating all day long, and then her husband goes out and gets burgers or food from a restaurant probably every single night, and so that would probably add up to where she's at with her weight gain. And the fact that she was over 50 pounds to almost 100 pounds heavier than she thought she was, she sort of underutilized the amount of food that she was eating. And by that, I mean she underestimated, that's the word, not underutilized, underestimated exactly how many calories she was eating, because it's very easy to think, okay, I probably had, this and that was this many calories, and I'm not doing as bad as I thought I was, and I was just snacking a little bit. But when you come up that much heavier after your weigh-in, then it really shows that there's a big problem.
And no activity or exercise. And that's it, that's a life. Does that sound about right?
Mm-hmm.
With how big you are, you're barely able to walk. So you're very close right now to becoming bedridden.
Yeah, the one thing I can give her credit for, she's actually being fairly honest with Dr. Now. A lot of the people who go on the show say, "Oh, I'm not doing too bad. I don't eat a lot. It's just water weight," or they have a number of excuses or things like that, and they don't really own up to the fact that they have contributed to their own problem there. But yeah, Dr. Now is right here. You are so severely close to being bedridden. And they say once you become bedridden, that is it. There is no helping you. You could probably be admitted to a hospital and put on a very strict diet, but it takes a lot more work to gain that mobility back, to get up out of bed, to walk. So once you become immobile and bedridden, which is part of what scared me, because I was getting pretty close to that point, they say that's it. You're very much likely to die in the next few years once you become bedridden, because your risk of clots goes up, and your sedentary lifestyle just works against you so badly, and you're going to do nothing but gain even more weight because you're not working out at all.
And you pointed out that Rick is the one who brings you food. So he's your enabler, right?
I guess.
So Rick, you get all the stuff because you think is good for her, or?
Basically because it's easy and I don't want to hear her complain.
That's the number one thing with the enablers. Sometimes they do it out of love. I'm serving you. I'm trying to show you love. You want these things, but at the same time, she's probably a master manipulator. She's probably very good at getting him to do what she wants him to do. And if he doesn't get the food that she wants, she's going to throw a fit. I've been there. Almost everybody on the show, almost every obese person who has an enabler has been there. And you love this person and you don't want them to complain. You don't want them to throw a fit. So you get them what they want because it's easier for you, and they shut up. They get what they want. They're happy momentarily. And it's like working with children, because again, if your kid is throwing a fit because they want a popsicle and you say no, eventually you give in because you just want 5 minutes apiece, right?
So you help her to get herself with food so she doesn't get upset. But if you love her, then you're going to help her stop doing this.
That's exactly right. If you really love somebody, you're going to stop enabling them. And that's what happened to me is people in my life just started cutting off, burning those bridges because it's like, I've done everything I can to help you. You're absolutely refusing to help yourself. I can't give any more to you. And so it gets to that point where if you love somebody, you're going to stop enabling them. You're going to sit down with them and you're going to say, I can't do this for you anymore. Throw a fit if you want to. Kick me out of your life if you want to. But you are killing yourself. And I love you too much to sit down and watch you do that. So I'm cutting off these ties. And if you want my help, I'll be here to support you. But you have to do your part of it. You have to want this. You have to want to fight for it. You're going to have to give it your all, and then I'll help you. Then I'll support you. I've been in that position many times, and it's now that I'm actually doing the work and I'm working really hard and I'm making videos and I have a job and I'm losing a lot of weight and actually doing the work, more and more people in my life are willing to help me and help me achieve my goals and get me through this difficult time. But if I wasn't doing that, I wouldn't be getting no help whatsoever. So if you're trying to lose weight, you need a support system and people who's going to be honest with you and not enable you.
You got that?
Yes, sir.
To be over 700 pounds at Brianne's age means she's been eating pathologically for a while now. So breaking her off that habit is not going to be easy.
Yeah, that's the hardest part with weight loss. Like a lot of people don't realize, and I've said this many times in other videos, like I've been told just eat a salad. It's like, that's not as easy as you think it is because you've been eating pathologically your entire life. I've been overweight since I was 5 years old. So that's been something that's been with me for over 30 years, my food addiction. Turning to food when I'm dealing with any kind of trauma or frustration or pain or when I want to celebrate, like that's been my entire life. And only recently have I broken that. I don't do that anymore. I don't turn to food when I want to celebrate. I don't turn to food when I'm sad or depressed. I don't turn to food anymore. So I've completely broken that system. And even after weight loss surgery, I did a video on how I was depressed after weight loss surgery. And that's gone away now because I've actually worked through all of that. But I was depressed because I was going through the anniversary of my dad's death. He died on Halloween. And so when Halloween came right after weight loss surgery, I was having to deal with those feelings for the very first time, and I didn't have food. Normally, I would order a pizza or order out on Halloween just to help me get through the day. And I didn't have that this year because I had the weight loss surgery. And so, you have to really work through your emotions for the first time instead of covering them up with food. So if you've had that sort of pathology your entire life, it is not going to be easy to break. It's like someone who's been smoking for 30 years, 40 years, and then you try to get them to quit. It's going to be hard. And so people need to understand that.
But she's at a very critical point right now. Because the fact that she's been this heavy while she's young is the only reason her body has been able to still get around. And
yeah, that's the thing we've been talking about as well. The younger you are, you're going to be a little more mobile. You're going to be able to handle it just a little bit more. Your body's not going to start shutting down just yet. It takes time. And the more you become obese and the less mobile you become, the worse you are later on. So it's not something that hits you right away. It takes decades and decades. Sometimes it'll take 20 years. Maybe it'll be 15 years. Maybe it's 10 years, something like that. But yeah, she's just 30 years old. So she went through that period of being in her 20s where it didn't really impact her life at all. She did talk about how all that weight was crushing her organs, but she's still walking around. She's still a little mobile. And so it hasn't really impacted her yet. So Dr. Now is telling her right now, you need to take care of this at this moment right now in your life. Because if you don't and you become bedridden, that's going to be it.
function for the time it has. So if she doesn't start to make the changes she needs, that's all going to change rapidly very soon.
Yeah, and that change happens very rapidly, like he just said. So it's a matter of all these fat positivity people who are in their 20s and they think that there's really no health problems with obesity because I'm obese and I have no problems, I have no high blood pressure. Say that in your 30s, say that in your 40s. You're not going to be able to, and then by then it's going to be even harder to lose the weight. So the younger you are, the stronger your metabolism.
Brianne, you're 30 years old and over 700 pounds. Then what is next up, 800?
I don't want it to be.
Well, right now you're headed to one of two scenarios. You're either going to make it up to 800 pounds and become completely bedridden soon, at which point you won't survive much longer.
Exactly what I said earlier in the video. She's going to continue on and hit that 800-pound mark and become bedridden, and then she's going to die. Or she decides right now at 30 years old, it's time to change her life. And it looks like she's about to break down because she understands that and she doesn't want that to happen. So again, I'm really hoping that she becomes a success story because she doesn't have very much left, much time left before things start really breaking down for her.
That's the end of it. The other scenario is you're not going to even make it to that point, and your body is going to give out in the next few months.
That's very possible as well. You're often thinking about the future and, oh, that's going to happen down the line. I'm still young. I told myself this, I'm still 30. I'm still 35. I'm too young to have a heart attack. But there are people who've been obese their whole life since they were a child who are having heart attacks in their 20s and 30s. So heart attacks aren't something just for the older people. They're not just for the people who have heart problems in their family. Your body can give out at any time, and that's the thing that I'm scared of, because I could have a heart attack tomorrow. And so I'm a little more careful with my exercise because I don't want to stress my heart out that much. So I do like softer exercises. I do lift some weights, and I do get on the exercise bike, but the less I weigh, the more comfortable I'll feel exercising. And I'm not trying to use it as an excuse for not exercising, because I do exercise. But I'm also concerned about my heart, and I try to get EKGs as often as possible, and soon I'm approaching the age where I'll probably need a stress test and stuff like that just to check out how my heart's doing. But that is always a fear in the back of your mind. It could give out at any time. There's no guarantee you're going to make it to your 40s or 50s or 60s, especially when you're over 700 pounds.
And so you're running out of time right now, okay? The only hope is to change now. So how motivated you are to make the changes?
I'm very motivated.
That's great to hear. She sounds like she is ready to change, because unlike other patients who come in and just blow smoke up Dr. Now's butt, she's been honest, she's been open, seems very motivated to change.
So I'm going to give you some stuff. It's a 1,200 calorie a day diet that is high in protein and low carb that I want you to start on immediately.
Yeah, I've always tried to find Dr. Now's diet. I think he sells it on Amazon. So he has his book on Amazon and it has his diet in there. I haven't been able to afford to buy it. But if you are looking for a good way to lose weight and you want to lose it Dr. Now's way, and you could lose easily 50 pounds in a month if you are super obese, look for his book on Amazon, and it has his diet in there. And it's mostly protein. You don't need to go buy his diet, just kind of do a version of keto, low fat, it's low carb, high protein diet, 1,200 calories a day. Stick to that, you will lose weight like nothing else. And anyway, I'm just going to end the video right here. I really hope that she does really well with her diet, and I might check in on her later on after I finish recording this video and see how she's doing. Her name is Brianne. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this reaction video, and I got some other stuff coming up soon. Again, we started a Discord channel. If you want to join our Discord channel, if you're looking for some accountability, some help with your weight loss, some support, some love, or just want to have some fun, we have all kinds of game bots in there and music bots and stuff like that. So yeah, we really would like to create a community of people who just enjoy being in one another's company. Maybe you want to support other people who are trying to lose weight, or you just need that support yourself. Also, there's a link to my Facebook page. It's all in my About section, so I got 2 links there. I'm still trying to work on getting a Twitter and an Instagram up, so those things are coming. Also, we're doing live streams. I'm going to try to do a live stream every Saturday. I won't be able to this Saturday because I'll be at my buddy Steve's house, and we're going to have a guy's day, so that'll be a lot of fun. But the Saturday after that, we'll probably do a live stream and try to make it a regular thing. So there's lots of good stuff coming up. So please subscribe, please like, please comment. I greatly appreciate it. I hope you have a great rest of your day. God bless you.